Hi, good morning everyone. It's another video announcement. Sorry I didn't get this posted last night. It's been kind of a crazy week for me. I'm sure some of you can sympathize with that. So anyway, here we are in Module 4, Part 2. Thank you for your work on the discussion boards where we've been talking about our capstone assignment and the proposal that we're filling out. So thanks for sharing some of the difficulties you might still be having on that and asking for advice for each other, and just keep that up. As you know, the capstone proposal, which is a template you need to fill out, is due by this Sunday, and that includes at least 10 sources on things you've found that will either help support your project or your paper. Those are tentative sources, just so you know. I just want to make sure that you're finding some good quality sources. You don't have to use all of those sources in the final justification paper if you're doing a project or for the final research paper. But just wanted to get a feel of the kind of research you're doing, how far you've gone with that, and that is the purpose of the rest of the proposal as well, to kind of give me your final best ideas on what your focus or thesis is, your audience, and so on. So please fill that out and complete that by Sunday. As well, ePortfolio checklist is due, and as I mentioned in the last video, that's doesn't mean that the ePortfolio itself is due, but it's kind of another way for me to get a sense of where you're at in the process. So just fill that form out completely, and if you haven't completed your ePortfolio yet, make sure that you set some goals at the bottom of that form of when you'll get that done and what kinds of assignments or artifacts you're going to use for that. There's also a module in this, an assignment in this current module, just a journal that I'm asking you to think about how you might share this evidence that you're collecting with others in the community, and how that might look. So coming up in Module 5, Part 1, it's hard to believe we're already in Module 5 of 7 for our class. It's going quickly. We're going to do some small group work. Now that you have your proposal thought about and figured out, I want you to break up into small groups and discuss that. So the groups are broken up depending on whether you're doing a paper or a project. So you select the group that you'll be in. I know earlier in the semester, some of you have seen those groups and tried to enroll yourself, and did enroll yourself in some of them. So I have been unenrolling you up till this point, but now Module 5, Part 1, we actually do need to enroll in those groups and do the assignment for this module in that small group section. So the way you enroll, you first need to determine which group you're in, which course section you're in, sorry. So there's 3 course sections. There's the green section, the blue section, and the orange section. I'm teaching the green and the blue sections, and Vicki is teaching the orange section. So that might help you know at least maybe which section you're in. Once you figure out that, then you need to enroll in that color of the small group. So if you're in the green section, there's 2 possible choices. Small group 1, green, or small group 2, green. Small group 1 is for those who are doing papers, and small group 2 is for those who are doing projects. So that is true for whatever color group you're in. Group 1 of that color is for papers, and group 2 is for projects. So it takes a little bit of maybe planning or thinking about that, but hopefully you will get that figured out. If you happen to enroll in the wrong small group and you realize that, just let me or Vicki know, and we can unenroll you in that group, and then you can re-enroll in another group. One of the problems with the new Blackboard update is that you can actually enroll in all 6 of those small groups if you if you wanted to, but we do not want you to. We want you to enroll in only one of your color and of the kind of paper or capstone assignment that you'll be doing. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just give Vicki or I an email or a call, and we'll get it figured out. So once you pick your small group, there is an assignment this week in that small group on the discussion boards in the small group. So if you're doing a paper, it's going to ask you some paper-like things. And if you're doing a project, it'll ask you to share about some of the project details that you're coming up with. So that is intended for you to get another pair of eyes on what you're doing, and hopefully the feedback from your fellow students on that will be helpful. As well, in this next module section, the e-resume is due. And remember, the e-resume is just your online kind of presence through a resume. So instead of having a paper formatted resume like a Word document or a PDF, an e-resume is a way to visually show your years of experience, the skills you have, etc. So I've given you a lot of different platforms that you can use for that, like Wix, Visualize Me, LinkedIn is another very popular one that you can do for that. So in that way, prospective employers or those who are interested in your life or background could check on those. If you're not looking for a career after the MDS degree, I would suggest maybe an e-resume in a format like Wix, where it's much more open. It's like your own web page, and you can kind of personalize that and customize that as you wish. So just look at the assignment directions and follow those. And if you have any questions about that, let me know, or Vicky as well. So that's what's happening. I know this week, Module 4 Part 2 is a heavy week. It's kind of like our midterm, about halfway through the course, and we do have some of those assignments that we're kind of getting to the point where we need to get those done, like the capstone proposal and the ePortfolio checklist. So moving ahead, we'll be working more on just our capstone assignments, getting our service learning done, and those kind of things, in addition to thinking about how we're going to present our final experience in the MDS course through our MDS presentation. So that's kind of an overview of what's coming up and what's going on now. And as I said, if you have questions, please let me know, or Vicky. And if we don't hear from you, we will definitely see you online. Thanks.